I was introduced to an individual, and he says to me, I can find any element remotely on the periodic table. And I said, I don't believe it. He said, do you have any silver coins, any gold coins? And I said, yeah, I am on the island at my house. I have a few. He goes, all right, put them in a baggie and bury it somewhere in a park. And I'll tell you where it is. So it's dark out, there's no full moon, and I go with a little shovel, and here I am at midnight digging a little hole in my backyard, and I put the coins in about 2 feet down. The next day, he sends me a picture of my backyard with a circle on it, and it's exactly where I buried. I still, to this day, get goosebumps of the first time that I realized that the technology was real. And then he started saying, well, do you want to go with me? I found 46 gold locations in 5 rivers in the Dominican Republic. I've got an invitation from the president. We're going to go mine one of these sites. Do you want to come with me? Of course. I've always been that guy where I'm ready to go on a moment's notice. And I find this probably the most fascinating story that I've ever been a part of. We get word that the chief of staff for the president of the Dominican Republic, his wife is the lead archaeologist for the country. And they've been trying to find the bones for their freedom fighter, their Nelson Mandela, if you will. Only this guy paid the ultimate price. He finally died in the 1500s when Columbus discovered what he called Hispaniola, which is Haiti and the DR, and they realized that it was a gold-producing country. Needless to say, they went from being missionaries to enslaving the people. And when there was a revolt, they invited 40 of the chieftains, including the queen, to come to peace talks, and then they were slaughtered. And a couple of the missionaries that were good people, they spirited away the 12-year-old grandson of the queen, Enriquillo, and they took him away, and they taught him Latin and Spanish. And he comes back, and he leads his people in a revolt. And there's letters from the conquistadors to the Spanish king saying, this guy is a problem, he knows the area, and they're following him. Not only that, but he's the rightful king, and he's a monster of a man. He's 6'6". So needless to say, the Spanish finally killed him. They got him, they shot him in the head with a musket, and they killed him, but they hid his body. They didn't want a martyr. So the Dominicans have been looking for his body basically since the 1530s. And we were asked that based on our technology, could we, on the calcium content in the bones, could we find a 500-year-old body? And we had, I think it was 20 square kilometers to look, to scan. And we gave them a single set of coordinates in August of 2021. In November 11th to be exact, they excavated that location we gave them, and they found Enriquillo. And the reason they know it's Enriquillo is 4 things. Number 1, his arms were folded, and even though the Spanish killed him, they respected him as a king, and you folded a person of importance with their arms folded. That's how you buried him. Number 2, there was a coin that was next to the body from the 1500s that was made in Hispaniola. It comes from the Egyptians and the Greeks from the ferryman over the river Styx. You pay the ferryman, so you leave a coin. Number 3, he had a huge hole in his forehead, which was the known method of death. And then the 4th one, the skeleton was 6'6". So based on those 4 things, they knew it was Enriquillo. And they gave us, very generous in the papers, they gave the company all the credit that it was from our location. They now have a national Enriquillo Day based on finding their freedom fighter. You know, it still fascinates me that we were able to find that in the power of the technology.
Hello, my name is Conrad Archer with Archer Energy Services. I'm a directional drilling field engineer with over 2 decades oil, gas, geothermal exploration experience. In January 2023, I was requested to field test BSD Global's ability to locate hydrocarbon pay zones. I was drilling on a well, South Texas, and we had a multilateral well we were involved with. I provided no specifics and no depths. Within 24 hours, BSD Global was able to provide the tops and the bottoms, 4 different pay zones in that area. There was no other sources of this information other than being on location in a tight hole situation. I was able to compare the information BSD Global provided by comparing the logs of the wells that I had just drilled. Within 50 feet, they completely identified these zones. BSD Global was able to accurately identify hydrocarbons in place in reservoirs, and I've never seen that before. I'm firmly convinced of BSD's ability to accurately detect pay zones for oil and gas anywhere in the world.